पानी की हर बूंद की अपनी कहानी है। किस बादल से बरस, किस पर्वत से निकल, किस नदी से लिपट, किस धरा से टकरा आपके ग्लास तक आई है। आज ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है, जिससे सबके ग्लास में पानी बना रहे। क्या आपके आसपास भी कोई पानी की कहानी है? जुड़िए पानी की कहानी इनिशिएटिव से। पानी की कहानी.org से जुड़ें। जानकारी के लिए संपर्क फॉर्म जरूर भरें। लोकल के लिए वोकल बने। नव प्रवर्तक पोर्टल्स भारतीय इंजीनियरिंग द्वारा स्वदेश में ही निर्मित एवं संचालित हैं। आज ही अपना खुद का पोर्टल बुक करें।
Than what Professor Janakirajan promised to be, and Janakirajan has already covered so many of the points regarding urban planning, particularly in the context of disaster management. And he rightly cautioned that we should not hide behind climate change. However, I would just like to remind ourselves of the important challenges which are going to come from climate change. If we are today already talking about blockage of drainage in the cities, inability to deal with heavy rainfall, we've seen nothing yet. We are going to see more and more episodes of heavy rainfall, much heavier rainfall days. We are talking now of 100 to 125 millimeters. We are going to be looking at 200, 300 plus incidents. We've seen many of these in the recent past in Chennai, in Mumbai, in Kerala, etc. And if we are already being deluged under floods in our big cities because of faulty urban planning, then our ability to face climate change is going to be highly attenuated in the cities. So one of the propositions I would like to suggest to you all is, many of the suggestions we are talking about is, it looks as if we have already made all the mistakes that we can make with regard to urban planning. अब क्या करें, हमने कर दिया, अब झेल रहे हैं, तो चलो अगला जब शहर बनेगा उसमें तो ना गलती करें। मेरे ख्याल से हमें इस पे भी ध्यान देना चाहिए कि जिन शहरों में हम रह रहे हैं उस पे हम क्या सुधार ला सकते हैं, which will help us to deal with this future. I know we have already built over much of the natural drainage, but what measures are possible in order to take some corrective action? I think we should address that issue also. Otherwise, we are just telling to ourselves, Bombay is the richest municipality in our country, but now 3 दिन लगातार बारिश अगर हो गई बम्बई में तो यहाँ तक पानी आ जाता है, and this is now become an annual feature. And I think instead of having cars on the roads by the millions, we will now have to have boats in the big cities by the millions, so that we can row through the streets during the monsoon period. So that's one thing which I thought we should think about, concrete measures by which we can enable our cities to deal with the climate crisis by trying to undo in whatever way we can some of our drainage practices and urban planning processes. One small point which I think many civil engineers here would appreciate is the actual capacity of our drainage systems. I think most urban planners and civil engineers from the drainage area will know that we have highly under-designed drainage systems for heavy rainfall. We have designed it for average rainfall conditions, not for heavy rainfall conditions. This is something which can be rectified in the not too distant future. This is something that can be done. Second point I wanted to make is, we heard this morning, I thought it was an extremely interesting presentation by Shri Uma Shankar ji. The only point that I feel compelled to disagree with him is, we don't have to worry about the drinking water problem. While he may have been talking about Gurgaon, I will leave it to his wisdom to say so. As a non-Gurgaon resident, but as a neighbor in Delhi, I am not sure I fully understand what he means by drinking water is not going to be a problem in Gurgaon. However, if you look at the country as a whole, it is well known that India is heading towards a water crisis. Per capita availability of water in our country today is 1/3 of what it was at the time of independence. 1/3. This is now reaching what WHO has classified as water scarcity levels, and we are going to reach that in another 7 or 8 years. This is going to transcend drinking water, residential other water, agricultural water, and industrial water. So this is going to cut across all sources. This is something we need to address. I think we have paid very little attention. Nowadays there's a lot of talk about energy audits. Everybody is doing energy audits, including in our house. We have star rating for appliances, etc. We don't do any water audit. Food grain output in our country, we measure our success or failure by quantity of production per hectare of land. We don't measure quantity of output per kiloliter of water or per cubic meter of water. I think it is high time we did a water audit for every human activity, industrial, agricultural, domestic, and try and reduce the amount of water we use. Because I think from many of the presentations we have seen, we have talked about how much we overuse water or we waste water by improperly using it. So carbon footprint water audits is something we need to pay much more attention to in planning as well as on the demand side. Another third point which I thought we need to make is regarding urbanization. You know, in the first 3 plan periods in our country, nobody thought about urbanization as a problem. Everybody said urban development is not an issue. All our population, 80% is living in rural areas. Let's concentrate on rural areas. Urban to apne aap kuch hota rahega. We have now realized that hota rahega has brought us where we are. By the time our attention started going to urban development, we were already into disaster territory. But I think the one point today, everybody is glamorized by high rates of urbanization, rapid urbanization is taking place. But if you look at it, all the projected statistics will show 50% of India is going to be urban by the year 2035 or 2040. But please let us also understand that still means 50% of our population is still going to be rural. And that's it's a non-trivial amount of about 700 million people. So 700 million people are still going to be in rural areas. So my plea is, while we look at urbanization, let us not only look at urban problems, let us address urbanization as a combination of urban development and rural development. Because the less rural development you have, the more unplanned urbanization you will have, which has brought us to the crisis point that we are. In the morning, Shri Uma Shankar ji spoke very correctly about counter magnets of population and employment opportunity. Populations will go where employment opportunities are being created. Why have we not sufficiently addressed creation of employment opportunities in the non-agricultural sector in the rural areas is something that I think we should also consider. Let us not only look at urbanization in cities, let us look at urbanization as a national issue, looking at both rural and urban problems. Last point I want to make is, we've had in this session several technologies presented before us, and I think Madam rightly said technology is not a silver bullet. It's not a magic solution. The important thing that I wanted to highlight to us is, when presenting the biofabrics and those elements this morning, this afternoon, it was said we are exporting this in billions, but we are not using this technology inside India. We must understand technology is a part of a larger ecosystem of development, planning, and institutional mechanisms. Technology will not spread on its own. Technology spreads when you figure out how it is to be used, when you have institutional arrangements by which it is incorporated into development, and you have planning processes which take into account these developments. Our friend from Jamia rightly pointed out that in our country, academics takes place in isolation, development takes place in isolation, and governance takes place in even greater isolation from all of these. I think the lesson that I at least have taken from all this, and I hope you do, is that knowledge-based planning, knowledge-based development, and evidence-based planning and governance is the order of the day for our, what we have been discussing, environmental problems, expectation for building climate resilience problems, and optimal utilization of all the technological options that we have before us. Thank you very much.